What's up, everybody? This is Terminator Juice. Welcome to the Juice is Loose, number 27. These are going fast, and over half a year's worth of podcasts. So we're gonna get this going. I'm gonna have my guests introduce themselves. So let's go ahead and do that now.
Yo, everybody, make everybody have to use this karaoke mic if you see right here. Yeah, so just deal with me. But how's it going? Make gamer man. I kind of changed that on this account. But yeah, how's it going, guys?
All right. Hello, everyone. Coupon Strides here, your Gamer Diva. Thanks for having me on another podcast. Let's get started.
What's going on, everybody out there in YouTube land? I'm your Canadian boy, Bear29, as per usual. I can't swear, so I'm not even going to say that. But yeah, glad to be here. Thank you for having me again there, Terminator. I really appreciate you.
What's going on, y'all? Oh.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What's going on, y'all? It's ASAP Bro here. Back on another one with Juice. Kicked me out for a while, but back now.
Looks like you got your hair styled nice this time.
Mm-hmm. You know how I like it.
It's so wavy.
Yeah. Does your mom shave your head for you? Or
No, mom don't shave it. I shaves it.
He's a pro at that stuff, man.
Yeah.
All right, so Juice Lose 27. We're gonna be talking about Captain Toad impressions, the Game Awards, and a little bit about the Zelda U. We didn't get your opinions on it yet, Rel, and then we're gonna do Q&A at the end. So you guys, questions, I will answer them this week. So hopefully there is some questions this week. So, but before that, I just want to say I'm not going to go over the Mario Kart 8 results. I'm just going to post them on Google Plus. I did that earlier today, and I think that's probably fine, good enough. So just say congratulations to Tessa TLH14 for winning again. So we had a decent turnout, but yeah, that's going to be it for that. So let's get on to the Captain Toad impressions. Bear Hugger, I know he's already pretty much beaten it. Mega Gamer hasn't played it yet, so he can't.
He's whack.
And I don't know what Rel and Coupon's opinions are on the game, so we'll go to you first. We'll go to Rel, and usually I do like 5 words or less, but let's just give your impressions of the game, how far you've gotten, and how you're feeling about the game so far.
I'm on book 2. I'm playing with Toadette. And I played some of the bonus levels, and overall, I think the game's pretty good, man. I like it. I like it a lot. I think if you're a fan of the Captain Toad levels, then you'll like this. So it's good. It's a good game.
Any something that surprised you that was better than you thought, or anything that's kind of annoying you, or any?
Yeah, annoying is the gyro controls when I'm moving with the analog sticks. That's kind of annoying. But I like what I liked a lot was the first person mode where you were throwing the turnips, going down the railroad tracks. I thought that was pretty tight.
Yeah, if you keep the controller still, the gyro controls don't bother you. Like they don't.
Yeah, but I'm a button masher, bro. So
But Toad's not a button.
I don't have that problem. I sit that thing right in my lap and just play.
You've never heard Rel play though.
Well, I've noticed the more I played it, the better I've gotten with it. But still, it still annoys me a little bit sometimes.
I will agree with him.
Yeah, it does. It does.
I
do not. Yeah, that little button at the bottoms.
I was gonna say that I wish you could bump up the sensitivity for the first-person stuff so I could aim with that better. Because I find it's only good for little fine adjustments, and you got to use the analog stick for any big turns and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I wish you could adjust that sensitivity. But Coupon, why don't you let us know how you're feeling about the game? How far are you, and all that?
Well, I'm doing gameplay right now, so I'm only on a chapter 3 that I call, which is what I call it. I just finished getting past checking out the bird's lair. I guess I'm getting close to that. So, yeah, it's fun so far. I mean, he is adorable. He's very animated. I love watching all his little animations that he does. I didn't think they would put that much detail into it. So to see that, if you do certain things, he'll react to it. He'll pass out on beds. He'll fall asleep if he sees another one of the toads fall asleep under a tree or something. He'll laugh if you play with like the train or something like that. Claps his hand, and he loves to yell if you put him in a high spot somewhere, and he can get like the echo. He'll start yelling. So it's really nice to see that. And and I didn't think the puzzles would get hard. I thought, okay, I can get through these. No, they get harder and harder as you go. So I give them kudos to Nintendo on that for upping the ante on that. So I'm definitely enjoying that. And then the bonus levels are awesome because I had a theory and apparently Bear Hugger said that theory was right. So yay!
Yep. Her theory was 100% correct.
No spoilers.
I don't want to.
No, I ain't gonna say shit.
That's why I didn't say it. That's why I
Excuse
didn't
my
say
language,
it.
by the way.
So I'm gonna leave it alone. You guys gonna have to figure out that theory yourself. But yeah, so far, I mean, I'm loving all the different details. There's a lot of posts going up on Miiverse with people showing other things that I didn't get to see, like birds falling on his, sitting on his head and things of that nature.
Cute.
So he's just so adorable. Like I can add him to my Kirby collection of cuteness. So yeah, I really love the game. I'm really enjoying it.
That's good.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable. I'll go next because I'm not much further. I just started the second episode, if you will. There's 20 levels in the first episode/book, and I'm guessing 20 in the next. And I'm about 3-4 levels into the second book with Toadette, and I'm really enjoying it. It's one of those games. Unlike Bear Hugger, I'm not gonna sit down and play it for 5-6 hours at a time.
Yeah, you have a life though, so that's the difference.
Still, even if I had nothing to do all weekend, I play for about half hour, 45 minutes at a time. It's a puzzle game, and for me, I like to just make it last. I like to take my time and not just rip through the game and be done with it the next day. So I'll squeeze in some Smash, some Bayonetta, and I also got a few games on my PC. And this is a nice change up for some of the other games I've been playing. It visually looks really nice. I like the X for zooming in, for getting all the little details. They did a real nice job with the lighting engine and stuff. It looks beautiful. And yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. Sometimes the camera just can't quite get the right angle for you. There's some levels where you're inside. There's a lot of structures around, and you can't quite see what you want to see.
I've had that issue.
It'd be nice to go into possibly a first-person perspective or over the shoulder for moments like that. But that's a pretty small gripe so far. And the challenge is definitely ramping up quickly. And I don't like to move to the next level until I have all 3 gems and the little check mark for the challenge, and that's how I'm approaching the game. And I'm really enjoying it. It's not game of the year or anything so far for me, but it's definitely another excellent game for the Wii U. And it's a niche title. If you don't like puzzle games of any kind, and if you didn't like the 3D World Captain Toad levels, you're not going to like this game. But for everyone else, for $40, it seems like a really great value. So next we'll go to Bear Hugger, who finished the damn game yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, I beat it yesterday.
So what?
I kept looking on my friends list, man, and he was just on there, Captain Toad. Captain, I was like, damn.
Yo, hey, I got the game. Let's see. I got the game Saturday night, and I've completed all of it yesterday. I got all the check marks in every level so far, except for the bonus levels that got unlocked for as far as you can go with all the check marks. And the level that I'm on now, I'm not going to spoil what it is and how it works or that jazz. I can just say that it definitely is up on the difficulty level as far as what Champions Road is in 3D World. So they definitely weren't effing around with that. Overall, for a value of the game for being $40, if you are a puzzle fan, or even if you just like Toad itself, because Toad is the best, cutest character Nintendo has ever created. I don't know how anybody can sit there and deny that. It's definitely worth the $40 investment. You'll get your replay value. I mean, right now, I just went ahead and I just looked at my actual thing when you were giving your analysis or your little description and your thoughts there, Terminator. So I went ahead and looked at my daily log for it to see how many hours I clocked into this sucker so far. Kind of shameless, I'm not going to lie. I'm not too happy with myself for putting in that many hours into a puzzle game. But right now, according to what my actual thing is right now, I got 35 hours and 40 minutes so far.
That's good, though.
What are you doing, man? He said he ain't had no life.
Well, I don't. I apologize.
But that's good that a $40 game can have 35 hours worth of content.
Yeah, there's going to be more hours to that too as well, because the level that I'm on now, I could see myself playing over and over and over again just to try to get the check mark goal for it, because what they're asking for is just, oh God, really, Nintendo? But I want to get it done, get the rest of the levels unlocked. But overall, though, I mean, the replay value is really, really high. And Rosa, I'm going to steal your little Captain Toad thing right there.
You will never take it.
I will.
I see you.
What does Captain Toad sound like,
What
Rosa?
is wrong with him?
Just like every other Toad. But I mean, like, I do agree. The gyroscope thing is kind of annoying from time to time, but I'm getting used to that. I wish there was a way you can, like, I wish there was an option to disable it, like when you're playing the main game, except for the parts when you actually have to go in the first-person view, that kind of jazz. I kind of wish they had the ability to disable that. The details on the game itself is just mind-blowing for me. I just love how Nintendo puts so much detail into their games. Like, I just like the expressions of, like, when you try to pick something up with him, and like his face, his cheeks get all puffy, and he looks like he's like really having a hard time yanking it out. And whatnot.
Yanking it out, huh?
Well, no, I
hate
mean,
when that happens.
okay, no, I don't mean that in a
PG.
sexual term. Okay, come on now. But what I'm saying is like the details, like when you see him go in the water, you know what I mean? Like he's holding his breath and whatnot, swinging around his little hands and all that jazz. Playing as Toadette is definitely another experience too as well. I like how she has a different personality. She sounds different and whatnot. You can actually understand some of the things that she says. Whereas like Toad, it's just like gibberish, but it's like that kind of cute kind of gibberish. You know what I mean? But outside from that, though, I mean, everything about the game is just—it's fun. It's addicting as hell. I mean, obviously, we're sinking that much time in it. I've only had the game for like less than 72 hours, pretty much. Freaking, it's kind of disgusting. But yeah, I can't get enough of it. I just love it. And the thing is, when it comes to Nintendo games, and I do agree with you, Terminator, I do beat my games a little too fast. But when I play a game that pulls me in, and I just don't want to stop, I don't stop, man. I can't force myself to quit playing, no matter how many times I try, except when I have to go to bed or go to the bathroom.
Yeah, that's how I am with Zelda. Like, I'll be like, I'm just gonna do this one last side quest, and like hour and a half later, I get like 3 of them. You know.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's the same thing too as well with what happened to Mario 3D World, where like everybody was like, "Oh, you gotta play." I played it off and on, because I'm not really big in Mario games very much. But it's like, "Oh, you gotta get the Champions Road. You'll have a hard time beating that." And then like the very next day, I was dedicated and got all the stars, all the flags, all the actual stamps, whatever you want to call it, across 2 days, and like almost in one sitting, almost with a little bit of sleep. Sadly, I know. So I got the Champions Road, and F that level, man. It took me a couple days to finally beat it. When I finally did beat it, though, I was happy, and I was like, I'm never touching this game ever again. And I haven't since.
Really?
So,
I've started another save file, and I'm on World 3.
I'll eventually get, I'm going to eventually get around to playing it again, because I want to go through the levels with every character. But after that, it was just like, oh god, this game. Like I was even sleeping at night too, as well, where I had the theme song playing in my head in my dreams. It was crazy, man.
Well, it's a good song to have stuck in your head, though.
Well, Nintendo always crafts, man. I mean, right now, the freaking Captain Toad theme song is stuck in my freaking head right now. Can't get up. Overall, the game is phenomenal. I love it. I absolutely love it. And if you're skeptical about playing it and worry about replay value and that jazz, get it. We don't even know what kind of amiibo support the game's going to have next year. That's what I'm looking forward to.
And the way they named the books as episodes, that just lends itself perfectly to DLC. Like, get episode 4 DLC or something.
Yeah. Or if they give me a season pass for that, kind of the same treatment they did with Mario Kart 8, day one for me. Day one for me.
And that's a good idea, because instead of buying Captain Toad 2 next year or something, they could just have a DLC pack for $15-$10, whatever they charge, and could extend that game. And I guarantee that I would get it, just because it'd be better than, I wouldn't buy the sequel next year. I wouldn't buy Captain Toad 2 next year probably. Yeah. But some DLC for $5-$10, definitely.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I mean, I would like to see a sequel myself, honestly, because I mean, what Nintendo crafted here, that was like the main thing. The shameless plug for 3D World is what I was really, really excited for, because every time I get to New World, okay, is Captain Toad here? Damn it! Get to the next world, like, oh, he's right there. Oh, that's the first thing I always go to. Is always him, because those levels are just so fun. They're fascinating. They're addicting to me. So if Nintendo makes this an ongoing series throughout like the next couple of years or / generation wise, I'm down with that. I'm totally okay with that, because there's nothing wrong with Nintendo, doing another puzzle kind of game, that kind of aspect. But yeah, overall, highly, highly recommend it, and to anybody, period. Whether you play it religiously like I do, because I have no life, or you play it, in bursts, like everybody else here is doing. Games are meant to be played.
Yeah.
I won't lie about that.
Anybody have anything else they want to add before we move on from Toad?
Oh
yeah, one more thing. Yeah, it's Toad. He's too damn cute. Bobby Day game.
Will there be an amiibo, Captain Toad specific amiibo, you think?
I believe so.
I said this yesterday in my podcast yesterday. If there is a Captain Amiibo, or Captain Amiibo. Captain Toad amiibo, and I go to my GameStop and there's a lineup, I will body check people to get my ass in line and get that damn freaking amiibo.
Dressed as Captain Toad.
Yeah, I will dress up.
Captain Amiibo. He's the new like, what do they call Why can't I think of that? What's
Marth?
Mario to like Nintendo? Mario, a mascot. He'll be the new mascot for the
Mascot.
Amiibo line.
Oh, I would be totally okay
But
with
anyway,
that,
talking about Amiibos, does anybody want a Wii Fit trainer? There's one left at at a local store of mine, and everything else, Marths and Villagers, are all sold out everywhere.
GameStop still has them online only.
I
You
would.
can order them online through GameStop.
I may buy them for rarity purposes if my GameStop store has them, and then sell them off like as a 3 package on eBay when they skyrocket to the actual.
Well, I'm
prices.
thinking like the week before Christmas, this would be a good time to sell. I should have bought that last one just in case and just either done a giveaway or tried to make a little money off it. But anyway, let's move on to the next subject so that everyone, Mega Gamer Man can actually contribute here. The 2014 Game Awards, everyone after last year's VGX, everyone was just planning on making live reaction videos to make fun of the Game Awards this year. We kind of joked about some of the nominees earlier in different podcasts with the best remastered game category and all that jazz. Stole that from Bear Hugger, that jazz. I've never said all that jazz to now. But anyway.
I didn't even notice I was even saying that, but okay, hey,
yeah,
cool.
you said it quite a bit. Now I'm saying it. And,
My bad,
into
dude.
the new, into the new viewers, we will get to questions. I won't forget this time, and we'll get to, I have it written down, so there's no way we'll forget. So anyway, the Game Awards. I'm gonna start with my impressions, and the best way to sum this up is to say on Saturday when I had Captain Toad to play and some other things I wanted to do. I had movies that had arrived in the mail. I did my fresh juice, showing off some of the stuff I got. I sat there and watched every second of the 3-hour and 20-minute runtime of the Game Awards. Yeah. I was expecting just to watch like the beginning because I heard about the Nintendo intro thing, and I watched every second of it. I could not. It was good enough, and there were some really great moments, and I was just impressed with what they pulled off. I guarantee their budget wasn't huge. There was some technical snafus here and there, some of the sound issues. Some of the awards were kind of presented real quickly when it should have been like in a major award, like Best Developer. Nintendo just barely got mentioned, and some of the other awards didn't even get shown. I looked up the winners for those awards. But overall, I thought it was a great show. I liked the music choices they had. There were some different things, and I just like how it was all thrown together. It was done well. They had Kiefer Sutherland. They had some pretty big name people. They had Miyamoto, and talking for before Mario Maker. There was a lot of cool world premieres, and I was very impressed. And I got to say, I'd give it, considering everything in the past, all the Game Awards, how shitty they've been, especially the VGX last year was just an embarrassment. Couldn't watch more than 10 minutes of it. I'm going to give the Game Awards this year, based on the past Game Awards, I'm going to give it an A. I know it could be better, and this was like an experiment, and I would like to think that it went well enough that maybe they'll get more backing next year and have better production value and maybe have a little more awards shown and stuff. But overall, I was very impressed. So I guess anyone else wanna go give their impressions of the awards, or I can pick somebody. Let's go Rosa, because we haven't heard from Mega.
Thank you. The whole Imagine Dragon thing at the end with Koji Kondo, man.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. That was probably the best piece I've heard, because they're both working together, and it's really, the Game Awards show was really good because I would say Nintendo was there. And and the thing is,
that helped.
Like, yeah, it's like Reggie was taking over the show, and he just like pushed Jeff to the side and stuff like that. Kind of saw that a lot. But everything was nice about it. They had that fake douchebag DJ that was like, oh, I'm on my Game Boy. But the whole laser light kind of instrumental thing, I like that. That was actually pretty cool. I didn't like the whole fact that they did have the awards like off stage, which was kind of stupid. And I mean, I would accept that for like fan awards, stuff like that. That's fine because they're fan awards. But to have it for like an actual like award for like Game of the Year and stuff like that, nah. I know they didn't do it for Game of the Year, but you know what I mean. But it was way better. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna accept this because it was way better than last year's hotel fiasco. Okay, I thought this year that they would have it in the back alley. Just have it somewhere, have a bunch of trash cans as seats,
Back
and
alley? What?
and
Did you
that's
see
their
the
budget.
VGX last year, Bear? That was
No, I saw the VGX last
Yeah,
year,
he's-
but I mean,
he was
that's
thinking it was
what I'm
going to get
looking
worse,
for.
which that would be.
Well, that's what I mean. Well, a lot of people thought it was going to be worse, but when he said it was going to be hosted in Vegas on a stage and all that jazz, I'm like, oh, okay, good. All right,
I
that's.
didn't hear that. I had none of that knowledge going in. So.
He came out and actually did a Twitch. Jeff Keighley came out and did a little Twitch thing talking about some of the nominees, announced some of the nominees and whatnot. But he explained what the show was going to be about, and what they were doing with it. So that's how I managed to saw that. It was like a little shameless little video he did there, like about a couple weeks before the actual event took place. But anyway, sorry, Rosa, go on. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, I know Rosa and
That's
them.
okay.
You guys did that live reaction. Was your plan being it just making fun of it? Like, did you expect it to be so bad you guys were just going to make fun of it? Was that kind of your plan?
Well, it was just basically a request from everybody that saw last year's, and we basically just did it. So we were kind of expecting, not gonna lie, we were kind of expecting it to be trash, because to be honest, what else can you expect? But yeah, I mean, it was good. We didn't expect this. It was actually really good, especially the Zelda thing. I thought it was gonna be like Paper Mario or something like that, but it was all right, fine. But yeah, in total, the whole award show was great. I gotta say, it was actually decent. It wasn't, of course, not the best, because I find the best ones were with Sam Jackson. But yeah, it was good for what it had to be.
All right, I'm gonna go to ASAP Rel next. I don't think you watched the whole thing, which is fine, but
Yeah.
I know you watched enough.
Yeah.
And let me set it up this way. Twilight Bites put it that he felt that this Game Awards was actually about the games and celebrating the history of games and the games this year, and it was less about what was popular and getting like paid. Like the Spike Awards always felt like it was paid, shameless promotions, and there was lots of world premieres and stuff. But from what you saw, did you feel like it was a tribute to gaming and to gamers, and a year of great games? And even though Nintendo was there, as Nintendo fans, that helped us, but there was the Sony execs were there and stuff, and there was a lot of other companies representing. Did you get that vibe at all?
Yeah, overall, I feel like it was for the gamer, man. It felt more like a celebration for for the gamers overall. It's like way better than the VGXs, which I only watched just to get to Reggie's part, in which he announced Cranky Con, which had already leaked. But I mean, overall, I mean, just as a Nintendo guy, just like seeing feeling like Nintendo's like they're actually paying Nintendo some type of attention is what really made me like it. You know what I mean? And the whole pacing of it was good. I liked some of the musical performances, like the light show that I had seen. That one was pretty tight. And overall, I mean, it had its little breaks with them showing like commercials for games and stuff like that. Overall, I felt like it was for the gamer. I felt like it was like a celebration. I agree with everything. I know what video you're talking about, what Twilight was saying. I agree with everything he was saying. It felt more like a celebration.
And how'd you feel about like Koji Kondo opening with like the Mario theme on the keyboard or on his piano and stuff? Because for me that gave me chills.
Yeah, I think I had sent it to you because I didn't know if you seen it or not, and I was looking. I was like, man, that's tight. When I sent it to you, I didn't even know that was the open until I watched it, and then I was like, that's pretty tight, man. They're showing, like I said, to me it's like they're paying their dues. They're showing, they're not overlooking Nintendo. You know what I mean? They're paying respect. You know what I mean? So I like that they did that. That was tight, man. It was awesome. And if I'm not mistaken, Miyamoto came out in the beginning too, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, giving Nintendo the floor, I thought it was pretty tight, and they got to close it. So I love it, man. Just mainly for the Nintendo aspects of it. All the other stuff you could have missed me with. I thought it was. I seen the part where they won 2 awards too. One for developer of the year, and I can't remember the
Best
other
Fighter
ones.
was the other one for
Okay.
Smash.
Best Fighter. They also won Best Family, and there's also.
But yeah, but those two Developer of the Year and Best Fighter were just kind of like, here. Oh, by the way, you won these awards, and it's like,
Yeah,
and then
off
some
to
other
the
dude
side.
came up
And
and
then
talked.
they let another dude come in, and he accepted his award, and then Reggie got to go. But overall, I thought it was good. It's way better than last year.
Even
Way
though
better.
that part cracked me
Yeah.
up though, because the guy that won that award that came up when he was actually interviewing Reggie, that guy didn't even look at Reggie at all. Period.
He didn't. Yeah,
That was
I'm
Blizzard.
saying,
That was
too.
a guy from
It's like,
Blizzard,
dude, you gave me
wasn't it?
this award. This is BS, man. This should be Reggie's award. What the hell are you doing, man?
Yeah, they're like, Reggie, you'll get yours. Like,
Yeah, he's like, "Where's my award?"
Jeff and Reggie are pretty tight, actually. I get that feeling that
Yeah.
Jeff and Reggie know
And-
each other well.
And it was just seeming like he was just Jeff was just chomping at the bit, man. Like, yeah, you got something to show us later, don't you? Yeah, like he couldn't wait,
Yeah,
man.
I'm sure Reggie. It's like, you said that one more time, I'll freaking.
Yeah, no.
Let me throw this to Coupon. I want your thoughts, but did you feel like because it wasn't Spike TV, because they were probably having to beg some people to actually attend, do you feel like maybe that's why they gave Nintendo some love, just because they knew Nintendo would be there? And also some of the awards felt like they gave it to the people they knew would show up, like the best actor or whatever performance to the dude from South Park.
Yeah, the voice.
Instead of like somebody who probably actually deserved it. I felt like some of the awards were probably given to just because they knew those people were going to be there. But other than that, give your impressions of it.
Well, for starters, I have to admit I never actually watched last year's or any of them. This is my very first time watching any awards, so I'm happy to say that I got to miss out on all the craziness that everybody's been talking about. Maybe I'll take a look at them just to see a glimpse of what was, but from what I'm hearing, this is better. And what I saw, I have to be honest, I'm sorry I'm going to be slightly negative. I didn't like everything that was going on, but it did look like they were on a right track. I'll give them credit for that. Yes, they are definitely on the right track. It felt like how an award show should be, but some of the sidebar awards that they gave off to the side just seemed a little flat. I would think they would give the Developer of the Year award on stage, and things, some more important awards would be on stage as opposed to awards like, certain other things off to the side. There were certain, like, I guess, awards dealing with trending something or other.
Training gamer.
Training game, yeah, that could have been off to the side in my opinion, but I mean, it is what it is. It wasn't horrible. Game Boy guy, yeah, no, never again. Let's not talk about him no more. I mean, it was fun to watch. He was entertaining. I'll give him credit, but let's get a real DJ or no DJ at all if that's the case. As far as some of the other aspects of the game, I guess some of the awards that were given away, I don't agree with all of them, but it could be worse. There could be worse games that get them, Assassin's Creed, things like that. So,
Yeah.
I guess I'm okay with what they did. I mean, Nintendo went away with some good awards. Other people went away with their awards, and I think everything was done very classy. They were in the right direction. I didn't feel too offended by anything. I did poke a little fun at the awards because I wasn't. It kind of bored me. I have to be honest. It did kind
That's
of
fine.
bore
Yeah.
me. But at the same time, at least I could tolerate it.
You
I
were
could tolerate it.
definitely
So,
on the ball with that cracking up, joking
Yeah,
around aspect.
Well, let me ask you one
Yeah.
thing. Did you watch it live?
yeah,
Yes,
I watched
okay.
it with Bear and everybody.
Okay, because I knew about the Zelda reveal already when I watched it the next day, so maybe that helped me, because I had already seen it, but I just
I
wanted to
didn't even
see.
know nothing.
I wanted to see how they built up towards that, and it was just kind of enjoyable for me, pretty much knowing the future while watching it. And I agree with that. DJ guy was annoying, but he was only on for very
Some
small.
of the music selections they had were pretty decent. I did like them. I know Lindsay Sterling was doing her piece. I
was
kind of liked
awesome.
her.
Yeah, that was pretty
really
cool.
nice.
Yeah.
The Imagine Dragons at the end, that was definitely
That was
awesome. And in the
epic.
beginning,
Oh, that was good.
those were great. Those were wonderful. I could deal with those. It was just a few snippets here and there that I was like, I don't know how. I mean, I really was digging the guy with the electronic lights and
That
stuff,
was
and
cool.
playing
Yeah.
Sonic and stuff. That was pretty cool. That was
Yeah.
pretty cool. I like that. That
I
was
really
interesting.
dug that. Bear, I'll
So
come to
yeah,
you.
they're in the definite right location. So
All right.
yeah,
Well, if you
kudos to
watch
them.
5 minutes of the VGX, you will probably throw up.
I think I'll keep that
It's
off
Yeah,
my
terrible.
record.
Yeah, you'd probably throw up. That's
Yeah, I
They
right.
were
think
like
I'll keep that off
standing.
my record.
really, really, really
Well,
bad.
they're
Was
in
that
some
like
kind.
the thing where they had some guys were like I guess there was like this rap group or something and they were
Yeah,
talking some mess.
yeah,
I
Well,
think I
no,
don't know.
the problem
yeah.
was the host. It was Jeff Keighley and then this like comedian guy, this really tall guy, and he's being very like he was
Condescending.
Oh
just like a
him?
dickhead and
Yeah, I saw
condescending.
like bits and pieces of that. I was like, who is this?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was like you could
I
tell
clicked away.
he didn't respect gaming. He wasn't a fan. You could tell.
He
Yeah,
doesn't
he did.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
And it
yeah.
was done in like a casual looking
Condescending way,
room.
kind of way.
Well,
Yeah,
they
it,
were
felt-
just
Yeah.
kind of like
it
standing
felt to
around
me
this
like the whole
pillar.
entire VGX was like shot right through like Jeff Keighley's like garage or some shit. Like it was that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
okay.
looked like it was like a some kind of reception hall. They're just kind of standing around.
I'll take a gander just so I can familiarize myself with
Terrible.
You
what
Well,
the
that
heck.
don't want to.
actually, I really liked seeing Cranky Kong, and that was the best part about the whole show because the show was so bad. But
Yeah.
Donkey Kong, they showed the level with the spikes and stuff, and it looked just gorgeous. And it was for me that was the highlight. But I'm gonna go to Bear Hugger, get your thoughts because I didn't see your guys' pod live reaction. I don't know.
I pulled it off because
Okay.
there's no video showing for it,
Oh,
so
okay.
it's randomly talking.
All
So
right,
it's like,
so
what
I
the hell's
missed
going
that.
on?
But let me
Um,
give you something to focus on here.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Nintendo showed like a really cool trailer for Mario Maker. They had
Oh,
Miyamoto. They had Koji Kondo, like
Yep.
this world-renowned, respected musical composer,
About damn time people take notice.
and they show frickin' Zelda. So, what do you think Nintendo's motivations were for bringing out the big guns at a show like this versus TGS and Gamescom, where they basically did nothing? What do you think their motivations were for doing this show, and how do you think Jeff Keighley got them to be on this show?
Well,
And
For motivation, for me personally, I think Nintendo really wanted to show, because they knew a lot of people were going to be watching this online. Because I mean, you can watch online like literally everything, your device, all that crazy jazz. So I think like with them coming out and saying, okay, this is what we're doing. We're gonna open up the show with Mario Maker, with Koji Kondo's, starting it off, and then Reggie coming out and doing all that jazz. Their motivation was to sit there and say, hey, you know what? We got 2 big major titles, you know what I mean, or 3 actually, plus all the games coming in 2015 that people already do know about prior to this VGA stuff, or the Game Award, I should say. Their motivation is clear. They just wanted to let everybody know that the Wii U is getting the content that people want, or that or people are unaware of, that kind of jazz. But as far as what Jeff Keighley had to do, I don't know how the hell he managed to swing to get all that reveal from Zelda, especially the Zelda. I mean, I'm not sure if he had to buy some knee pads for that stuff. I
That's
don't
what
know.
I'm saying. Going to town,
Well,
baby.
I mean,
I don't know how the hell he managed to swing that. Like, that was some crazy stuff, man.
what do you
Yeah.
think the Tokyo Game Show would have been like a better event?
Yeah.
That just got even more of an audience. I mean, I just think it was. I was glad. It just seemed like an odd choice to pick this, especially after last year's VGX. To put that much faith and do that much.
Well,
at this
I
award
do
show.
know that Jeff Keighley got a lot of flack though the last couple of years when he does the VGAs, and the VGX on top of that, like criticizing him about like the lack of like Nintendo not being there or not being on board, that kind of jazz. So I think Jeff Keighley wanted to put more of a focus on that for some odd reason. I don't know why, just to keep those naysayers, just leave them alone. That's the only thing I could think of, man. Because with the fact that they opened it up with Reggie talking about that and showing off, and then going to Shigeru Miyamoto, then showing off the new trailer for Mario Maker, which it's kind of disappointing that nobody's talking about that, because that game is going to be a sleeper hit, kind of that of what Captain Toad is. Because I mean, come on, you can make your own freaking Mario levels, man. How
Yeah.
much
Plus,
more
they
could you
added
possibly get?
Super Mario Bros. 3 and Super Mario Brothers World
yeah.
as
Oh yeah.
news. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's self-explanatory. Now you'll be able to create your own, 2D sprite Mario levels. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. But I mean, regardless of that, though, I mean, everything that was there, it was an okay show for me. I mean, like the biggest highlight with Nintendo winning all those awards, but I think like Trending Gamer should have been the offside thing, while Developer of the Year should have been up on stage.
Mhm.
But I mean, at least Reggie, he got up on stage to accept the reward for the best racing game, and that was for Mario Kart 8. It was nice to see that Shovel Knight got the actual indie game of the year, which I thought was was hilarious because it was being presented by a guy.
The Sony.
Yeah, it was a Sony guy and that kind of jazz. So that was kind of. Well, I mean, now that Shovel Knight is now coming to the other platforms now too as well, mind you. So I think
Is it?
Yeah, it's coming out for PS3 and PS4.
But did you hear them praising Nintendo for helping them along?
Yeah, they did. Yeah. They said that they were very, very happy that Nintendo helped them to get this game utilized and all that jazz. So I mean, I'm glad to see a game like Shovel Knight, which pays homage to the old school retro style side-scrolling games that we all grew up with back in the day, to really take off and get that hit, that that kind of jazz. But the biggest highlight for me though wasn't necessarily Zelda. That was like a bonus for me because I wasn't expecting that. But I'm glad that they paid respect to Sierra. Because Sierra is an old school PC company that I grew up with for many, many years. Played tons and tons of Sierra games back then. Like, to me, Sierra is like Nintendo on PC for me. And so the fact that they paid homage to them and then showed off the new King's Quest, which I'm super excited for.
I want to play that so bad.
And I love King's Quest, and I've been, like, as I said, I'm a huge Sierra fan. So the fact that they paid respect to them as the iconic award, that kind of jazz, even though the guy took the hat off, and that was that kind of irritated me a bit because I felt that was kind of a disrespect move to do.
Mm-hmm.
But outside from that, though, I mean, like, they showed off the Zelda stuff, which we'll be getting into our next topic, so I won't do my initial impressions there. But overall, it was definitely better than last year, for sure. Definitely. It's just a real shame that Mario Maker's not getting talked about as much as, say, the new Zelda game, but I understand as to why. And the fact that they paid homage to Sierra was a huge plus for me in my books, because that just goes to show that Activision does care for old-school companies like Sierra when they got shut down, like, many years ago. So praise to that. Other than that, though, yeah, overall, definitely, if I had to grade it, I would probably grade it probably an A, for sure, the same as you there, Terminator, because it was definitely way better than the VGX, that's for sure.
So let me, I'm going to go through, so would you say Sierra, that part was maybe a highlight for you other than the Nintendo
The main
stuff?
highlight, yeah, outside from Nintendo stuff, yeah, most definitely, yes, because that was a company that I recognized and just absolutely loved from all the way back to my childhood days, so yeah.
All right, so let's just go ahead and give our one or two highlights other than obviously the Nintendo things, because it's obvious to say Zelda and Imagine Dragons, all that. I'll start. I really liked the violin girl, Lindsay something.
Lindsay Sterling.
She, like, I've never seen someone play the violin plus do like ballet moves at the same time, and she just seemed really energetic. And I love the violin, and it was just some really amazing music. That I thought that was great, and the light show guy was cool, and then the tribute to King's Quest also was pretty touching, I thought, and it was a good tribute. So those were the non-Nintendo related highlights for me. And my fanboy really liked when Shovel Knight won, and the Sony exec had listened to them say how awesome Nintendo's indie support is, but that's just, I don't want to get too fanboy, but I did like that. I got a little chuckle. So I'm going to go to Mega next, maybe a couple highlights for you, and then we'll move on. Mega?
Stop playing with your toys.
Yeah, I'm here.
Playing Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is life.
He's playing with his dolls, man.
All right, but everything else was nice. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It was good. What it was.
You can't pick a highlight, like.
No, not really, man. I don't know. The only highlight is gonna be the obvious one, which is Zelda. I mean, I don't know.
Okay, we'll move on to.
Yeah, just please.
Coupon, did you have a highlight other than the Nintendo stuff? Anything?
A highlight other than actually, Sierra. That was my other highlight, or the musical selections in the beginning and end.
Cool. How about you, Rel? Come on, you got it.
From non-Nintendo, I really did like. If I had to pick one, I like that light show, like you said. Okay. I really liked that. I was digging that a lot.
And
you know what? I'll throw this out there too. I'm not a Metal Gear Solid fan, but that Metal Gear Online looked pretty dope to me.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
it looked pretty cool. Be curious to see how much of that's actual like gameplay type. It just looked a little cinematic at times, but I will say one thing that really had disappointed me. I mean, I don't want to get all negative, but there was one thing in particular that really stood out for me. The No Man's Sky, our second look at it, we saw it at E3. They showed basically the exact same thing, except leaving a different planet and going to a different planet. We saw zero gameplay.
It was so bad.
And there's people hyping that up, and I'm just like, you saw zero gameplay there. All you saw was walking to a cockpit, and it didn't look like anybody was flying. It looked like it just took off to a destination. And I saw a lot of pop-in. I saw a lot of slowdown in that trailer, and there's no gameplay, and you can't show the same thing twice, and it's just the Watch Dogs thing. The momentum just kills when you just keep showing the same thing over and over. So that was, for me, that was just a big negative. I don't know if anybody else has any negatives or anything else they want to throw out there before we move on.
What game was that? I'm sorry.
No Man's Sky. It's a indie developed PC game that's also going to be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 as far as being on consoles.
Yeah.
And it looks like a cell shaded like Star Wars wannabe, but there's no combat, and you just get in a ship and you fly out of the atmosphere
I've seen that
into
one.
space, and then you fly to another planet, and that's all they've ever shown. They've shown it 2 different times.
Okay.
I mean, out of all the actual world premieres they showed me, outside from the ones that we've already known that was coming, I noticed like Witcher 2 definitely saw a graphical downgrade on consoles.
Witcher 3?
Or sorry about it. Yeah, Witcher 3. Even though that's a series that I would never touch on consoles, I would always play that on PC because that, to me, that's where that series belongs. But it's nice to see that consoles are getting it though. But it looks like shit on consoles now. Excuse my language, by the way. And then a Drift indie game that's also has support for. It's the one where you show the guy flying in space trying to get that.
That looks stupid.
I'm looking at that and I'm just like, okay, so what are we doing here? What's going
Looks
on
like you do
exactly?
nothing. It just moves.
It's like, can I grab the lettuce in the air? Like, what am I doing here? But I mean, it's okay. Look, I can't really judge too much formally on that because they didn't really show it off. It is still an alpha, that kind of jazz, because that's what the guy said on stage. I mean, indie titles you can never be too sure with, anyways, because some of the ideas that indie developers do are actually pretty damn cool. Some of the ideas they do. So this game might actually be one of those kind of like games that when it comes out, I mean, it's supposed to also support Oculus Rift. So I'm like, okay, right off the bat, that's done for me. But yeah, when you get the idea. But anyways, yeah, the biggest thing that pissed me off the most, though, as far as the awards go, real quick, was the fact that Bayonetta 2 didn't win Game of the Year. I was pissed that it didn't, but I'd rather see Dragon Age Inquisition take it than Shadows of Mordor.
Well, it didn't even win action game. Shadows of Mordor won at best action, so Bayonetta won.
Bias BS bastards.
That means Bayonetta would have been 3rd behind Shadow of Mordor. So anyway, let's move on.
I'm done with that.
I had a coupon in Mega on Saturday's Zelda U discussion, so I'm just gonna get Rel's impressions, and Bear, I know you said you talked it to death.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of your
I'll
take on it, so just give it quick. But Rel, it was Saturday morning, like 12:40 in the morning. I had a bunch of friends over. We played some Smash Brothers. We were playing 6-player Smash all night. And I'm cleaning up and getting ready for bed, and about, 20 after 12 or something, I see, you guys have to watch this! And it was the Zelda U gameplay. So I watched it 4 times. I was up till 1 in the morning. I was so excited.
4 times, eh? There you go.
And I watched it like 4 more times the next day. So,
Jesus.
Rel, we never really talked about it. Just give us your take on what you saw, and is your hype higher than it was at E3? And just go over what you felt about it.
What I saw, man, was just beautiful, man. If I could say it in one word, it's beautiful. The thing when he's riding on the horses, and he's going to ride next to wild horses, and you see like their hair jumping up as they're galloping and stuff. I'm like, golly, man, this is awesome, man. I watched that, man. I watched it like 8 times too, dude. I was stunned when I sent it. I didn't think any of you guys were gonna click the link. I'm like, please watch this now. Like, I wanted Mike to see it because he's the Zelda encyclopedia, dude. So I'm like, man, check this out. And man, it looked fantastic. I don't know what people were talking about. Like, I guess some of the stuff didn't look as polished. I'm not worried about that. I know Nintendo's gonna have that all straightened out. He jumped up with the sailcloth, and then we look at the E3 trailer when he's vaulting off of the horse, and it's like, hey, you can do this. You can really do this, and he's doing it, and he's showing it, and it has the slowdown and all that, and I'm like, that's a little new for Nintendo with the whole slowdown effect, and I'm pretty sure they're probably gonna do it better than everybody. So. I don't know. It's great. It's fantastic, man. He's talking. You wondering if there's gonna be seasons. He's talking about there's apples growing in the trees, and I mean it's just I don't know what to say, man. It looks absolutely just fantastic, man. That's all I can say, man. I can't wait, dude, to get my hands on that.
You pre-ordered it yet?
I haven't pre-ordered it yet. But I will. I will, man.
So-
and then seeing how big that map is on the gamepad,
Oh yeah.
and yeah, I'm like, and that's not it. Apparently, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's more to that. So, man, I don't know what to, it looks great, Juice. I mean, I don't know what to say, man. It looks fantastic.
Oh, I didn't know you were that excited about it, but yeah,
Yes.
that's how I was.
Yeah. That's,
Bear, I'm going to ask you your impression of the game, but also how you felt Nintendo chose to present it with the off-screen and just Miyamoto and Enuma just kind of chilling. They seemed very confident in the game. You know, it was just like a relaxed conversation. How'd you feel about that way to present it instead of some cinematic trailer like a lot of other games companies did with some of their stuff?
okay, so before I get into my impression, I'll answer that question real quick. I think it was a little bit of a letdown that they wouldn't do direct feed because that right now there's a lot of controversy surrounding that. A lot of people are saying that the textures look like crap and that the game doesn't look anywhere near as good.
It's cell shaded.
Yeah, exactly, which is very hard to tell when you're looking at it from a recorded on a screen, not direct feed. So until we see direct feed, people need to you know what I mean, zip their lip for a while.
So you didn't like seeing just them two just really happy and just kind of chilling?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was satisfied with it, and all that jazz, but I kind of wish like they would have did like direct feed with them talking over it. I thought that would have been a little bit better, but at the same time, it is early in development, and for those of you people out there who don't know how Nintendo works on their games, they always do like enemies and characters and all that jazz, like the last thing they do in their game development. So at the point where it's at right now, I mean, I was blown away. As far as my initial impression, just to make it real quick, I'll just say one word: buckets. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say, dude. I was just blowing the F away with this thing, man. I can't wait to see more of it. But I will say this real quick, though. I did see somebody on YouTube do a reaction video, and he literally broke down in tears, crying. Like, he was that happy to see the way the game looks, man. So
I mean, that sunset was pretty amazing
yeah.
the first time I've seen it.
I was half in tears too.
Yeah, a lot of people were having tears coming out when I watched people's reactions to that.
I was squealing.
But
Yeah, it was.
It was amazing.
I was just kind of in awe. Like, I couldn't believe that they showed that game on the Game Awards. That was shocking in itself. And then just how amazing and how like huge the world looked. I mean,
Yeah.
We've talked about this on the Zelda U discussion. Nintendo's known for putting tons of little details and touches in the games. And the world is this huge. I mean, maybe they won't be able to put as many little touches, but they will have some. And I just can't wait to see what they do with such a big world.
I can't wait though and see if they actually put a homage or a remembrance to Robin Williams in that game somewhere.
We'll see.
Yeah, hopefully.
They should, but they haven't showed us nighttime yet. They haven't showed us like flames. I imagine there's gonna be a really cool lighting engine with like flames. Maybe I see a Link with like a torch going through a dungeon. We haven't seen any towns. We haven't really seen a big body of water. I mean, there's just so much stuff.
Cuckoos.
Yep. I mean, and it's gonna be Zelda. Like Mike said, I know he's not here today, but in that discussion, he said a lot of people are forgetting. They're thinking, oh, this is just gonna be an open world game. It's gonna be like Skyrim. It's gonna be like Zelda. And Nintendo, just like when they brought Zelda into 3D with Ocarina of Time, it was a whole new set of rules, but it felt like Zelda. They found a way to make it still feel like Zelda, and I think this will be the same. I'd be shocked if it strayed too far from feeling like a Zelda, but it looks like it's going to feel completely fresh and new.
Yeah, I think Nintendo is definitely going to redefine open world with this Zelda game. It's still going to be Zelda, no doubt about it. It's not going to be like Skyrim, but I think they're going to redefine the way open world games are played now, I think, in my opinion. I'm not saying that to gloat about Nintendo. I'm just thinking because the way they do creativity stuff with their games, they're pretty imaginable with their stuff, and they always tend to perfect stuff. So, I mean, with them open world, we'll have to wait and see. But overall, I'm buckets. That's the way I'm just going to leave it like that.
Does anybody have anything else to add before we get to the questions here? Because we got a few questions.
Question time.
Quite a few questions, though.
Yeah.
Not too. All right.
No, not really.
That's why I wanted to make my statement short. So.
Okay. Grayson Young, and I'm going to answer the first question. Is the Wii U becoming your favorite console ever? For me, it's catching up to the GameCube, which was his favorite, which was his first console and his favorite. The Wii U is already my favorite console ever. It has some of Nintendo's best games ever, and I just love the gamepad, how it works with the Miiverse and being able to draw and be able to just quickly type and access things. It doesn't have the best lineup of games ever, but I think it eventually will. But it's definitely my favorite console ever, as far as just the console itself and all the features. So Tony Karan asked, and I'm not quite sure the reference. I don't know who Kaizo is, so if anybody knows, I'll read the question. If somebody knows what he's talking about, please.
Yeah, this is the same question he asked me on my podcast yesterday.
Did you know what it meant?
Something to do with like the creator that made Mario World at the time, I think.
Oh, so someone different make Mario World?
I think so. I could be wrong. I'm not
so
entirely
it's gonna
sure.
say, it says, do all of you think Mario Maker is Nintendo's final answer to Kaizo's Mario World? I don't know what that means. Sorry, Tony. I just know that Mario World is right up there with New Super Mario Bros. U as my favorite 2D Mario game. I like World better than Super Mario Bros. 3. So maybe if there was a one-off, maybe if a director did that one game and hasn't done another one, maybe this is a nice throwback because Mario Maker does have the Super Mario World aesthetics in it.
Yep.
All right. Tessa, I'm going to ask this to Coupon. This is from Tessa. Why does Peach look like a daisy and Daisy look like a peach?
I don't have a clue. What kind of question is that? That's so cute, though. I don't know.
Well, answer. I mean,
I don't know. I really.
That's a good question, though.
That's
Does
cute,
Peach really
though.
look like a daisy? I thought daisies were orange, but it's just...
I don't know. Mind blown.
And she says that you need to check out Lindsay Sterling's YouTube channel. I definitely will, because it's not. I mean, she's cute, but I just like the violin. I love the sound of that, and just
that's the only reason I watch it.
The ballet is awesome. So
she makes a lot of interesting videos.
Here's a none. Let's see. I'm trying to find a question for specific people here. All right, I'm going to ask this. Rel, did you see the Uncharted 4 footage shown at the PlayStation Experience?
I've seen some of it. I didn't watch the whole thing. I've seen some of it.
Well, so Grayson Young wants to know what he thought of wants to know what someone thought of Uncharted 4 footage shown at the PlayStation Experience.
Oh, I watched it.
Yeah.
Why don't anyone can answer this? I'll start with Rel, and then we'll go
ahead.
It looked good. It looked good, man. I mean, it looked tight. It looked real pretty. I mean, I don't know what else you want to say. It looked like Uncharted. I guess one of the things that stood out to me was, I guess he was like crouching down in like some type of plants or something like that, and the way the plants were moving and stuff, it looked pretty. It looked pretty tight, but I didn't watch the whole thing, but it looked good.
All right, Kingpon, what do you think?
For me, the exact opposite. It kind of looked like, last gen graphics, more or less. Wasn't that bad. I mean, it really wasn't. There was some definite upgrades to some areas, but they had a glitch. But like always, it is in its beta, so it's okay. He fell through the wall. That's the main thing everyone's talking about. I'm like, it's in the beta. We get it. But it was kind of funny. So yeah, I mean, I want to be excited for it. Is basically what it is. I really do, but I just wasn't excited. So that's kind of where I'm standing. It did not excite me, but it does look like it'll be fun though, because there was a lot of action going on. So it looks like it'll be fun. It's just not exciting me, and that's.
It looks like some pretty cool ability to maneuver around the environment. I didn't play Uncharted 2 or 3, so it looked like some pretty unique ways you can sneak up on people and stuff. But still, in the end, you're just having shootouts in a third person, and I'm just I'm sick of that kind of stuff. But the worst part for me was I just played Tomb Raider on my PC a year ago or whatever it was now, year and a half, and it looked like about on level with that game visually, which is a good-looking game. But I just played that game, and I wouldn't buy a Tomb Raider sequel next year, just because I don't need to play another one this quickly. Uncharted looked just like Tomb Raider Uncharted copied the original Tomb Raider, then it looked like Tomb Raider, the new reboot copied some of Uncharted. Now it's looking like Uncharted 4 pretty much just completely ripping off the last Tomb Raider. So it's like this cycle of just copying each other, and it's like...
And then 5 of them between 2 generations.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, because we had... they had the 3 Uncharted in a 4-year span on the PS3. Then there was a Vita game that was terrible. Now, and it's, as Nintendo fans,
I actually like the Vita game.
Did ya?
That's the first Uncharted I started off with.
I was just gonna say, like, we don't get this. We get games every 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a series. So I mean, we're a little bit spoiled where we don't get burnt out on our games as bad as some of the other people. But anyway, just for me personally, the foliage in the backgrounds looked nice. I thought the Nathan Drake looked nothing like the E3 as far as the overall quality.
Yeah, he
Lies
did.
and deceit.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's gameplay footage." No, it wasn't.
And I feel bad for kind of saying this, but I mean, I tried to say that it looked good so I wouldn't come off so much as a Nintendo fanboy. But hearing Coupon come out and actually say that
sorry,
the
I
graphics
can't-
do look
I
kind of
can't lie.
last gen, I'm gonna tell the truth too. I mean, the game looks good, but it doesn't look much better than what we've already seen from it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
And I mean, we're not going to get that wow factor as far as graphics are concerned anymore. We kind of hit the ceiling on that, I believe. And that's okay. It's fine. It's just we should be looking at
Yeah.
gameplay now. And things
exactly.
of that nature
Thank
is
you.
where I think we need
Thank
to be
you.
looking to stop worrying about graphics at this point because they're not going to get any better. I just don't think they're going to get to that wow factor that we're going to find.
Let's
So
look at the
that's why I
order.
was just like, yeah, I mean,
The order
the order looks good,
1866.
but not that
boring.
great. It's just boring
Yeah.
to me. I mean,
It was a
it
2.5
looks nice.
minute trailer. I got bored after 30 seconds, and I stopped watching. I'm like, this is the game? I mean, seriously, you guys
Yeah.
aren't... I was bored after the 3rd Gears of War of that type of action. Like, I never need to play another
And then what
game.
they showed in the Game Awards, they showed in the PlayStation Experience too for the order. So I'm like, you're not showing me anything new.
That's going to
You're
be
just
another...
recycling everything you showed us. So
That's going to be just
you
like
got games
Rise.
like Codename Steam. Then you got games like Codename Steam, something brand new that really
I think-
catches you.
Yeah,
man.
people hardly mention that, and I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a game you'll have to play to really appreciate. It's going to be hard to
yeah,
control.
because I kind of don't really like. I mean, it's not my type of game. Is the problem.
All right, so I got 2 questions for Mega if he's paying attention.
All right, what's that?
First of all, this is from
He's
Tony
alive.
Coran. What are your thoughts on Miyamoto's English during his look? I didn't know he could speak any English, so I was pretty shocked when he started.
I guess he was practicing, which is kudos. But yeah, I don't see what's the big thing. But yeah, congratulations with your English.
That's what I asked you. So here's the actual question I wanted you to answer from Tony. Do you think we'll see an ultra-attractive Princess Zelda in the new Zelda U title like
Dang, that's
Koei
something
Tecmo
you
had
should.
with Queen Zelda and Hyrule Warriors? And I guess to add to that would be, or we'll see like a super young Zelda. So what's your predictions on?
Why is that not here?
I know. You'll have to do the next best thing.
But yeah, I can kind of see because it is going anime form, so I'm gonna say yes. But I mean, the way she's gonna look, I mean, it wouldn't be that. I think it's gonna be different from Hyrule Warriors and stuff like that. I think they're trying to get away from the dreads and stuff like that from Twilight Princess. So yeah, I think it's gonna change. She'll look fine. She'll look hotter, I guess. Yeah, that's what
She'll
we're
be-
looking for.
Younger or older than Link? Because Link looks kind of young.
I would say because they always do this, even in Ocarina of Time. I would say they would be in the same age, but if they're different ages, that would be kind of fun. You know,
MILF.
having
Oh, stop it.
I didn't mean like fun like that. What's wrong with you?
He's thinking Zelda
I'm
hentai.
sorry. I'm sorry. My bad.
We're 34 here, man.
I'm a very lonely person. Leave me alone.
All right, let me pick another question here for Bear Hugger. What are your thoughts on Nintendo winning Developer of the Year on the Game Awards?
All I'm gonna say to that is duh. No. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad that they did because they definitely deserve it in my books. Because I mean, so far, like this year alone, they've been pumping out quality after quality after quality after quality, and it shows now too as well. They are not stopping with that going into 2015 and beyond that too as well. Because I'm sure E3 they'll have a lot more stuff. So yeah, they definitely deserved it. Because I mean, Sony came out with a couple with their own first-party games. Some of them were definitely hit or miss. Like Knack was more along the lines critique to hell. Even though there are a lot of people that actually out there that actually say it's a really, really good game, and I'm like, okay, prove it to me that it is. You know, Killzone Shadowfall, meh. You know, you get the idea where I'm going with that. To make it short though, yeah, I'm glad they won it. They deserved it.
Especially when Ubisoft Montreal was nominated on that list. They better
That
to
made me puke when I saw that.
Unless they're the ones that made Far Cry 4 and somebody else made Assassin's Creed, because Far Cry 4 seems to be pretty...
No, it was the same company, I think.
Oh, okay. All right, so
division.
this one's kind of a industry question, and it's kind of a, what do you call it, conspiracy theory kind of a question from Flapjack. With the recent announcement of Street Fighter V being exclusive to the PlayStation 4 and PC, and Microsoft buying Tomb Raider exclusivity, how likely do you think that this has been the combined practice from both Microsoft and Sony to keep third parties off Nintendo's platform? I honestly think it's more Sony and Microsoft keeping games off the other systems. I really don't think they're even.
I don't think they really care about Nintendo either way.
I don't think they're doing it to stop Nintendo. I think
Nintendo's
Microsoft
gonna keep doing what they do.
Microsoft got Tomb Raider to counter Uncharted, and Sony got Street Fighter V try to counter like Killer Instinct. And
the problem is that Tomb Raider is a timed exclusive for when we
understand.
Street Fighter V is exclusive to PS4. That's a big
but
F
it's
all Xbox fans.
Part of the PC world, so it's not. I'm sorry, it's not exclusive to me. Everybody says.
Well, no, I mean console-wise.
I know for the consoles, but most of us have computers that we play on, so it's kind of like counterproductive.
So I mean, I don't mind. I mean, if I was in the Street Fighter, if I actually cared for it, I would have no problem doing some shoryukens on my PC, but I don't care. So whatever.
But I'm not a big fan of Street Fighter, so it's not.
Neither am I. Not anymore.
Let's see here. I haven't answered a question. Like I kind of did, but I kind of didn't. Let me pick one here.
Oh, we're going there, Terminator.
Some of these are just comments here. I'm trying to read. And Teresa Hammond sent something about the No Man's Sky developer had some kind of flood they went through early in the development. So maybe she's asking, is that maybe why they were set far back in their development? I didn't know I don't know where they're from.
I did not even know that.
If they had a flood or something, but still.
Yeah, they said that there was a flood where their studio was, and it basically wiped out everything. So they had to like redo all that stuff.
That'd suck.
That sucks. Is that probably why they're showing the same stuff over then?
Could be.
I guess.
That really sucks.
Rosa?
It really does.
All right, Tony Coran. I'm just going to read this one if somebody has any comment on it. Here's a non-Nintendo related question. What do you guys think of Sony's upcoming game Until Dawn? I don't remember that game.
Why
is that?
It looks like a great movie.
And why is that game copying Quantum Break and Beyond Two Souls? Someone remind me of which one that was.
Was that the one what I know what you did last summer type of deal?
Oh, come on. That's not even a game.
It's an awesome movie.
Okay.
I want to see that.
I will comment on this. I will comment on this.
If I've ever seen it. So, anyway.
Look, I'll say this real quick in defense to Until Dawn. If you're a fan of the old school point-and-click adventure kind of games, that's what this game reminds me of. Just like Quantum Break and just like... No, actually, Quantum Break, no, because Quantum Break
actually has gameplay.
Yeah, Quantum Break reminds me of like Max Payne with different elements to it. Beyond Two Souls, again, anything that Quantum Dreams makes, and these new people that are making this Until Dawn, I'm not sure what the developer is. When you see a game that plays out like that, the same goes with like The Walking Dead and The Wolf Among Us and whatnot. It pays homage to the old school point-and-click adventure games. They're just redefined, revolutionized, all that cool jazz. As far as from what I've seen from Until Dawn, it doesn't look that bad. I mean, if you're into like those kind of like point-and-click, choose-your-own adventure kind of type games, check it out. It doesn't look that very bad. People who don't, it's going to be one of those kind of niche titles. Less than a niche title, for that matter, it's not going to sell at all worth of crap. And I hate to say that because if I had a PS4, that would definitely be a game that I would definitely have a lot of interest in because I love those kind of old school point-and-click adventure kind of games. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of as a whole.
Okay. Maybe they should retitle it Until Her Bath Towel Comes Off.
Pretty much.
I would be freaking okay with that, man.
My only issue with it is, like I said, it reminds me of movies I've seen before, and I would like to have, like, if they had made maybe the story. I hope the story is different from what I'm thinking it is, because it just looks like every
A hack and slasher.
summertime. Yeah, the hack and slash that I've seen on big screens, and I'm just
I
like,
mean,
you guys,
in a way, I mean,
they
we've already
couldn't have
seen
came up with
so
something
many.
else for that. Like, I don't know, but hey, I'm not gonna knock it.
But how many
Maybe
horror
once
games
I
have
get a
we seen
PS4,
like
I'll
that,
pick
though?
it up and check it out, because it does look interesting. It's just something about it that's like,
Yeah, I mean, how many like horror type games are like that, right? So that's,
No,
I
that's
mean, me
true. So
personally,
I
it
am,
looks
but
okay, but yeah, it just looks like I know what you did last summer on crack, so whatever.
Yeah,
I
With
just
the clown
expect the
face.
guy with the scream mask to come out. Ah!
yeah, it's like hit
Easter
X
egg.
to hide under here, hit
Yeah.
Yeah.
triangle to run out the
I'd
window.
rather actually do that, like actually
Yeah.
make her go under and make her do all those things.
Unless
That
it
I
did
did.
some just
Press the
revolutionized
button.
like choice in games and like
Yeah.
totally revolutionize that genre,
Hmm.
I'm not excited for it personally.
But I was,
Make a good
but they
point
did
there,
say that
Smitty.
if
Make a good
you,
point.
they did say that if any of your characters die, they will never come back in the game
Alright.
because they recycled the characters. So that's good. I like that. That's interesting.
Okay.
And here's an interesting question. I know it could have a long answer, but I'm going to ask Rel. Do you think crafting will be incorporated into the new Zelda game as far as upgraded and specialized tools and weapons? He thinks that there will be. Give you a reason to scavenge and stuff and hunt. So, what do you
Didn't we
think?
do that? Didn't we do that in didn't you get what stuff to in Skyward Sword?
A little bit.
Yeah, a little. I think they're gonna keep doing that. I think so. I think Nintendo needs to be careful with how they like add different stuff into Zelda and stuff, because you got a lot of hardcore Zelda fans that
Yeah.
don't want change, so they
I
gotta
don't
do
want
it
it to turn
very
into-
so.
Yeah.
I feel like they gotta do it very subtle and very gentle. Because my brother is, he's all into those, those games, and he's like, let me throw this at you. How about if Link is fighting like Batman but with a sword?
No.
I'm like, no, thank you. No,
Wait,
thank
wait,
you, dog. No.
Shadows of Mordor.
Yes, that's my brother. That is my brother. Yes, he likes that kind of stuff.
We
But
did that in Shadows of Mordor. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
need another game like
Wait,
that.
wait. Seriously, that's your brother?
yeah, that's my brother, dude.
Well, he meant that combat system, right?
Yeah, he wants that
Yeah.
comment system. Yeah, like that. Then I'm like,
That doesn't fit the Legend of Zelda.
no, you got to be gentle. You got to be gentle with Zelda fans. We get upset.
Holy
We'll get
No.
upset.
Mine just
Get
got blown.
riots in the street.
Yeah.
Where's the witch?
My
You know
mind
why?
just got blown. Holy
Let me
crap.
just say this. The reason I like Zelda and I don't care for RPGs is because I could move my character around, dodge things, and attack with my sword at will. And I hated turn-based battling systems because that felt stupid to me. In Zelda I could always just dodge and run around, and they had like weak points on enemies that you had to get maneuver around and not get hit. I love that, and they need to keep that because that's one of the best things about Zelda for me personally.
I personally don't mind turn-based. I'm a big fan of it, but I still like the aspect that you're talking about too as well, Juice. I mean, I'm all one for that too as well. Either way, it will work fine for me. For me, turn-based though, it just gives me that extra moment where I could think of like what move I want to do next. You know what I mean? Without having to think of it on
Yeah.
the fly.
But
So-
I mean, to each his own. But for me,
exactly,
Zelda has to be about.
Oh yeah,
that.
I would never play a Zelda game turn-based. After that, no way, it would not work in my books.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I got a question for Mega here.
All right.
He wants to be a game developer someday. Do you think you'll be able to string levels together in Mario Maker? Do you think you'll be able to make entire worlds? Personally, this is from Tessa. Personally, I think so. Otherwise, the cards at the end of the Super Mario 3 style levels would be pointless. So, do you think you'll be able to create entire worlds in this game, or?
The thing is, you will see trollish levels from me. Just warning you. You will see those. So, I have one here. I'm going to describe one to you, where you have the choice of 3 paths. All right, 3 paths. Only one of them is the way out. And the thing is, each day, I'm going to change the path. So
You're a dick. That's all I'm gonna say.
the thing is, there's one path that Goombas are just gonna come towards you, and then Goombas will come the other way towards you, so you're trapped and you're dead. The other way is gonna be with shells, basically a whole row of shells everywhere, and then the path that you would go to would be the right path. But that doesn't end there. But I'm not gonna explain everything there.
So answer the question. Do you think it's just going to be like, okay, there's your one level, and then You
But
just
that
download that and done, or do you think you'll be able to create successive levels that people can play? I mean, I think.
I would really like it if Mario Maker they made it where I can, because I know this is going to be an option where you can download other people's levels, but I wish that you can make it like your own full-on fledged title. Make it where, okay, this is my 8 worlds. Now go through it. You know.
Hmm.
So that would be actually interesting to have, and definitely, this is going to be something that is really going to make people use their imagination to the fullest and make Mario courses that you would have never even thought of. So that's very exciting.
So you just confirmed to me one thing, Rosa, that I will never play your levels after you just revealing
Yeah,
what
because
you're
you're
planning
a
on doing.
wuss.
No, it's not that. It's because if you're gonna leave somebody to make a level like that, keep it for element of surprise. But the fact that you just revealed your conniving evil plans, you are
Y'all
the
don't wanna play
worst.
my
You are
levels,
the
then?
worst troll I've ever met in my life,
Oh,
dude.
wait,
Honestly.
did you see the ones that they showed off in that trailer? That's even worse. I was not even thinking
Yeah,
about
just
those.
way out of it.
Especially the one with
Yours is just gonna be BS.
the. But yeah, I mean, I just can't wait. I actually want this game now. Definitely.
Yes.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for that 3D world. Okay, that 3D world creator tool.
Well, they did
That's gonna
say
be-
that he's
that's gonna be
hoping this could become its own series.
Yep.
That's-
Yeah, I'm really hoping though. I'm really
Takes
hoping.
off, so yeah.
This one,
Yeah.
hopefully it really does take off. I'm really hoping for it because I would really love to see more about these. With Zelda, with let's say Kirby. How about Kirby? Kirby can do it. Why not? So
Yeah, they could
many
really-
opportunities.
Don't
And then
say
they
that.
can make instead of Mario Maker, they can put Nintendo Maker. Why not? Just do it.
Let me just say, like in this first installment, I'd be surprised if it wasn't just a bunch of one-off levels, and you could maybe it had like a more boring like layout, kind of like Captain Toad, where you could just kind of flip through levels. But I'd like to see in the future them where they let you make like an entire world of levels and keep it in the theme. Like I think that would be the next step for that game. If they didn't do that in the sequel, then they shouldn't make a sequel. In my opinion, they shouldn't just do more of the same. But that's a good idea. And this is pretty much the last one I'm going to read here because we were talking about Champions Road. TriLink says, "Hi everyone. Champions Road, I'm on that level now. However, at the moment, the difficulty is nothing compared to Tropical Freeze's 2K. Took them 2 weeks, and who knows how many lives to beat that level. Who knows if Champions Road will take as long. I will honestly say that Tropical Freeze 2K and Champions Road took me probably equal amount of deaths. I think Champions Road was actually a little bit harder because you had to keep going to get the Tanuki suit. I could not do it without, so I had to keep going back, so it took more time. But Tropical Freeze, once you get the hang of level 2K, for those that don't know, I just did it in time trials and got 1 minute and 20 seconds on it. So once you figure it out, there's a couple spots where you can do a roll and long jump and save yourself just so many hard spots just by jumping over them. So maybe I'll do a little upload of that. I'll just do some off screen of that time trial run. But anyone else play Tropical Freeze 2K? Do you feel it's harder or less hard than Champions Road?
I haven't played Tropical 2 Freeze, but yeah.
It's not
Yep.
really. I wouldn't say that's much harder. I'd say because actually, to be honest, that level was really easy. Tropical Freeze and Champions Row is actually pretty easy when you have the right stuff with it. So
It's not easy. You can't use the word easy to describe Champions Road. I'm sorry. You're lying. You're lying, dude.
Road was a nightmare for me.
I died over 150 times.
So did I. You're on that.
I didn't even
will
use
say
Peach for that garbage.
I beat Champions Road in 2 days with only like 4 hours of sleep in between. So yeah.
Champions Road is pretty damn hard, and Tropical Freeze 2K. Once you figure out a few areas that are tricky, it's not that hard. The hardest levels are the World 7. The 3 bonus levels are really tricky. So yeah. Also, I want to say, Grace, and I've read a lot of your comments. They're not exactly questions. Game of Thrones. Anyone here watch that? I love that show.
Yep, I've watched it.
I don't.
I think it's a pretty
It's
damn
awesome.
good show. And he says he's been watching it on his Xbox One. He's got an Xbox One, but not a 3DS, and
Yeah.
there's just something wrong with that.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it here. I mean, I had another one just pop in. Yeah, Magnum 924. Oh, that's a good question. We'll answer this one last question. Everyone will get a poke at it. Do you have any concerns with the idea that Star Fox will come out next year before Zelda?
Nope.
And I'll add to that because we haven't seen any Star Fox, and we know that it basically at E3 didn't have a main developer other than some of the gameplay elements. So, anybody have any concerns about Star Fox?
Nope.
Nope.
Uh-uh.
I feel like Nintendo's gonna give us some insight into that game soon enough. They're gonna do a direct or showcase it somewhere. We're gonna get information about it before it actually gets its release date and all that. So I'm just patiently waiting for that confirmation and see with my own eyes what they provide for us, and then I'll make my criticisms then. But until then, I'm not gonna jump the gun yet.
All I'm going to say is for that, just please let Platinum Games be behind this beast.
I really hope they
So
are,
I'm
though.
That's
hoping
all I
to.
want to say right now. 'Cause they're behind that game. Again,
I'm all
I said,
in.
with my reactions to Zelda, buckets.
Once again, I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna say it, no.
I don't want
That-
Platinum to make it either.
That's the type of game. That's the type of game that they should not go. Metroid, yes. Do it. Do it. Metroid, yes.
I don't want that either. But
Am I the only one hearing the buzzing sound right now? It sounds like, I don't know why. I don't
I think
what-
somebody's got like a fan or something going on. But
Oh, okay,
anyway,
so it's not just me hearing that? Alright, good. Whatever.
I'm gonna
Okay, good.
answer this.
Yeah, I thought I heard it.
I thought it was going
Um,
crazy.
The only concern I have is also could potentially help the game. The short time period of actually coming up with the actual game, like the story or whatever, that kind of worries me that they got to put all the, like, if it's really going to come out by summer next year, that's about a year after Miyamoto said they didn't have a developer, so that's not a lot of time to, like, create game environments and all that and polish it. But it also hopefully means they'll cut out a bunch of the BS, like, cutscenes, like the annoying, especially like freaking the Toad guy, whatever his Pippy, I can't remember his name. It's been so long since I played it. Who's the green, annoying Skippy?
Oh, Slippy.
Slippy.
Yeah.
Freaking
Yeah,
garbage.
I hope they don't have a bunch of CG like cutscenes. Just have an on-rail shooter and focus on that and make it the best on-rail shooter you could be. Make it feel like Star Fox, the original, and 64, and just really focus on that. We don't need a bunch of BS CGI and all that crap. So hopefully this short time frame will actually benefit the game for they won't have time to actually do all that, and it just takes away from that game for me personally. Just like with F-Zero GX, I didn't want to see all the Captain Falcon cutscene crap. I just wanted to race. So that's me personally.
Yeah.
So I have concerns, but actually some of those concerns make me think that it'll turn out a better game because of the short time. Anyone else?
Yeah, I think it's gonna. I have no concerns. I think it'll come out on time too. They've been hitting us pretty heavy, man, right now. So I think they'll all be. I think I'll probably be a little bit more concerned about Zelda making it because of its past delays. But I think they're gonna make it with that one too.
What about just the actual game itself, not just making the deadline, but what do you think about the actual game turning out to be like a full-fledged game? I mean, possibly could be a budget title, like could be a $40 title. They might not have that much.
Yeah, I'm thinking they're not gonna really focus too much. I don't think they're gonna focus too much on story and stuff. It seems like they're really trying to push, the gameplay with the gamepad and stuff like that. So that's what I'm thinking is gonna be more pushed on with that. So I'm kind of seeing how that's gonna concerned a little bit how that's gonna go, but
Yeah,
I don't think we're gonna see a whole bunch of cutscenes and stuff like that.
and I really don't. I don't need to see Slippy ever again, but I know he's going to be in the game. But hopefully they come up with some better voices for these characters and maybe change that. That would be nice because that was probably the weakest aspect of Star Fox 64 for me was the annoying characters, the annoying voices and all that. But Platinum, I don't think that's the right game for them because I don't want to have to worry about combos and stuff like that. Just make a game where you just got to dodge stuff and shoot stuff. Like that's what Star Fox has always been about in its purest form, and just make it a really nice looking game and polished, and I'll be happy. So that's it. we're gonna wrap this up. I wanted to keep this one shorter, and we did pretty well. So thanks to everybody who watched and everyone who asked questions, and my guests here. So final thoughts, any last words, and do your sign offs. We'll go in the same order we went. If you guys can remember that.
Yep.
All right. So this is Garen, man. I kind of forgot for a second. I'm not gonna lie. But the thing is, how's it going, guys? Yeah, this has been great. Hopefully you liked it. It was a crazy weekend, a lot of stuff, but nice that we can at least talk it out. And hopefully you guys enjoy everything, enjoy your week, and have a great day or an evening, night.
Coupon Strides here,
Yeah,
Gaming
no
Diva. I had an enjoyable time talking about all things gaming. That's what we should be doing, talking about games, enjoying our games, playing our games. So, thanks for having me again, and have everybody have a great week.
Of course, I'm your boy, Barriger29. Thank you there, Terminator, for allowing me to come back on another episode of your Terminator, or what was this called
Juices
again?
loose.
Thank you. Yeah.
You can't come on again now. You messed up.
Oh, I just exposed the crap out of myself. I get shit. See, that's what happens when I'm an idiot. Anyways, but thank you for letting me be on another episode of this. I really appreciate it. I was glad to share my impressions on Sexy Captain Toad. That's besides the point. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Good to have you.
Thank you.
And ASAP Rel here, and of course I always like to thank Juice for having me on. I don't know why he has me on, but he has me on. But I appreciate you having me on, man, and meeting all these cool people. And I got to do this again because my mom really liked it last time. I got to thank my mama again for all the stuff that she does for me because I already got my next wave already paid in full. My next wave of amiibos because of my mama, so got to thank her for that.
Thanks, Mom. She can send some my way. I'll take some second wave amiibos.
Yeah, if he's being bad, give him to me. I'll take care of him.
Yeah. I'll take a Zelda.
Yeah.
I'll take a little Mac.
And then send it to Coupon
I got
so she
my
can
little
paint
Mac. Yeah, I'm definitely painting Little Mac. Somehow, some way, I'm putting him in his his jumpsuit.
And I just wanted to say, first of all, Coupon, we didn't talk just about gaming. We talked about that musician Lindsay chick for a little bit. So it was 99% gaming.
Gaming and music, it goes hand in hand.
It does, really. And Mike, New World Order for Life, wanted me to mention a game coming to the PSN tomorrow. It was a PS1 game, like Suikoden or something. Suikoden 2. He says it's like most revolutionary RPG, and he's really excited about it. And the only reason I'm willing to bring it up is because it was one of those games that has become a rare, like, impossible to find game, going for $100+ on eBay if you wanted to get a copy of it. And now it's hitting PSN, so anyone with a PS3, Vita, and a PS4 will be able to buy this game probably for between $10 and $20. So the impact that's going to have on all those collectors that have been sitting on this game, like the actual disc copy, I don't know how that's going to affect like the game's value, if it's going to go down on eBay because of this now, or I don't know how Earthbound was affected when the Wii U had it. But
quite a bit.
Yeah, so it kind of sucks for those people, but it's also good for people that didn't want to spend that much money on an old game, and it gives people a chance to play it. So that's a cool thing. Never heard of the game in my life. I have zero interest in it because I don't really care for RPGs. But for those guys out there, he wanted me to mention it, so I told him I would. And Mega's playing a game, or somebody's playing with a controller right now.
That is Mega killing Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, what are you trying to do with that controller, man?
Oh man, when you verse the organization, you don't mess.
Oh my God.
So,
Way to close the ending.
Been a great podcast. I really enjoyed this. I like just kind of having just topics that we could talk about more organic, instead of scripting everything out. And really enjoyed this. And thanks to everybody who watched this. And again, thanks for the questions. And I'm glad I finally remembered to get to the questions. So I'll try to make that a point every time. And look forward to Mario Kart 8 tournament this Wednesday. We're going to try it. We had 9 people last week. We'll see. I'd like to keep that number around there. If not, we can take a break from it and come back later. There's a lot of games to play right now with Captain Toad, with Smash. Some people are just now getting Bayonetta and Hyrule Warriors. So, I understand not everybody can still still wants to play Mario Kart all the time. But anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.